Hello everyone, welcome into a tutorial of tips and tricks that I have learned over the 7 years of playing 7 Days to Die. First up, fighting positions. I have AI turned off for right now for a good reason. I'm going to go over here in debug mode, press F6, I will spawn a plague spitter. And I'm going to go into this building. It's a temporary building. By all means, do not build on the ground because if you build on the ground, they will more than likely dig under to get to you, for one. And for two, it's harder to control where they path. You always want to fight on your terms, not on their terms. Because you fight on their terms, you're more likely going to die. So you want to do these tips and tricks in order to prevent from dying. The plague spitter spits these annoying little pests that that fly towards you. Uh, Here, I'm going to illustrate right now. Turn the AI back on. Oh, he just went the other way. Okay, here he comes. He is spitting the projectile. There goes the bugs. As long as you're in his line of sight, he will see you. With the new 2.0 update, there is a problem with them getting through small 1 meter spaces. This is always held out. The scaffolding ladder. In order to get headshots with melee, you always want to be able to hit them without hardly any problems. Uh, in order to do that, you can sit here and wait for him to swing, and then come up here and hit him. You want to make sure that you're going to be able to hit him, so you want to take your scalping ladders and put them in this direction. To do so, you just simply have to go to your shapes, which I got right here, and you hold on, let me select the shape. There's your scalping ladder. You press R and hold it down until you're ready. Choose advanced rotation here at the bottom. It has the block with all sorts of rotations, symbols on it. You simply just keep on doing this until it turns that the way you want it. And you can press R to go back if you've gone too many times. Now he is going to destroy this, which is fine. I'll just go ahead and get rid of him. When you get your rotation, you cannot always get perfectly into the center with the scalping ladder, but the scalping ladder does stop cop spit as well. I'm going to show you that too. I'm going to turn AI back off. I'm going to press F6 again, go to cop, and spawn a cop in. I will go back here in the fighting area, and I will show you it stops the spit. So I'm going to turn AI back on where he can see me. He sees me. Here he comes. He's going to spit. It has blocked. That was off to the side. Let's try to get more centered this time. For some reason he just shot to the side. So go back to F6. Oh well. Press star key. F6. Let's see if we can get him to puke directly in the center this time. So I'm turning AI back on. And by the way, that is in debug mode. It's the star key on the numpad. Here he comes. He still did it to the side. Let's see if he can hit the center this time. Hit the bars. There, he has hit the bars and it did not go through. So this setup is really good. Now, one other key element you want to do is stack. Stack is very important too. So I'm going to go on the other side here. If you leave one scaffolding ladder here to protect you, they're going to tear it up pretty quick and you're not going to have time to repair. But if you stack, I'm going to copy rotation. Let's hold R and choose that. You want to double up on the bars like this so they're twice as thick. And you can go in here. I will get a nail gun. And I will show you this. is a temporary thing. You can reach here and repair both. Like, here, let me shoot this bar here. There. Now see how it's damaged? You can reach through and repair it if you have the materials. You can reach through scaffolding ladders like this. Now another tip and trick that I've learned that really helps is electric fence posts. What I like to do, and this is very helpful, when you're thinking about your fighting position, you want ways that you can repair your uh, electric fence post. Now I'm going to expand this a little bit. Let me get to the square, and I want the plate corner, which is right here. This is very important. Not only will this protect the post by placing them like this. Hold on, copy rotation. I placed that one wrong. Hang on, let me fix it. This not only protect it, but also give you a way to put it on this side, and also give you a way to repair it, and it would also give the bars structural stability, because with the bars being like this, if they're standing on their own, then they have more of a chance to fall off. But when I'm putting the plates here, that has strengthened those bars by giving them more support. So if they break the block to the side, for example, these bars won't collapse if they break the blocks. If they do, I'm going to spawn in some electric fence posts. Let me show you this one. Now with 1.4, actually I think it's 1.0, these electric fence posts only take up 1 square now. They used to be 2. So I'm going to go ahead and plant them on the walls. I'm going to show you this. There. Now the electric wires can go across. You want to put one at the bottom and top like this. It'll help with the dogs and any zombies that are squatting. It will shock them and hold them still for you. Do not ever leave your fence posts exposed, because if you do, they will get destroyed and they have so little hit points. So in order to do this, you want to put one at the top like so. And then you want to get the plates. Well, you want to go to poles first. You want to get a pole. And I love this 0.025. It's really helpful. It makes it to where you really can't see it very well. I don't want it centered. There we go, pillar 025. You put it here. Okay, I gotta choose advanced rotation. Oh, okay. Now I'm gonna choose simple, which is this one right here. It's a small block. And I'm going to place it here. Then you go in. This will help hold the plates on. Then I'm going to go in here, access the plate, choose advanced rotation, get it the rotation I want, put it on there like this, and those poles will give it structural stability too, to where they won't fall off. The plates won't. You always want to encase them. I didn't put the poles there, but you can. I'm just doing this for demonstration. Now I will go over here, and they're protected now. So now the zombies can't destroy them easy. And so I'm going to go over here, bust out this wall to show an example of what I mean by repairing. You can leave this exposed. It won't hurt nothing. But if I, say example, if I build copy shape, copy shape, which is this one right here, the double block without any rotation symbols on it, I'm going to temporarily put, oh, okay, it put the wrong one. Destroy this. I'll turn here. So, say this is my fighting area, for example. It's like this. With it in case like this, I can simply come over here and repair them if they need repaired, and at the same time they won't be getting damaged. And on the inside, as well as the outside, here you want to get plates. This will give us structural stability too. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go back. You can put plates here on the wall, and it'll give this stability on the inside, like so. With stability is a key feature. You want many points as you can to hold the blocks in place. You don't want to leave them just dangling, because if you do that, they can simply knock the blocks off easy. But that's the tips and tricks for that. And then up here, wherever you're standing, the vultures and the plague spitter bugs will attack. Let me turn the AI back off. One way to keep the zombie vultures and the plague spitter bugs from getting to you and keep them killed is to put spikes on top, because the vultures will fly into them, and it doesn't take much to kill a vulture, especially when they hit them several times. And the plague spitters, when they're far enough away, they'll shoot the bugs and they'll go up on the roof most of the time. So this is a good way to deal with the plague spitters, bugs, and the vultures. Now over here, I got some setups here. Don't waste precious resources. What I mean by precious resources is you can skip ladders like this. When you jump on the ladder, hold on, I'm on Sneak. You jump on the ladder and you can keep on going up until you're up on top. So save your precious resources. You don't have to build a whole ladder in one section. You can for cosmetic reasons if you like it, but you don't. At early stages, resources are precious. You really want to make sure you don't waste resources. Now, another thing here with this setup, put plates on the wall like I did with the other one over there. And if you're running for your life from zombies, you just simply catch the wall. You don't hit this bottom rung here, because who wants to run from zombies and stop and get the right angle just to jump up here? With this, say, let me take this back off. If I go right here and I'm trying to run from zombies, I just constantly hit it. I have to get the right angle like that. And then over here, I'll go back to that in a minute. This is one of my favorite blocks. When you're doing a pathing and your fighting position is up here. Let me do this real quick, just as an example. Say that's your fighting position. You're standing behind. There's bars here. You're standing behind it. Zombies will see this bar as a path. You can. One good thing about this bar is the .025 middle. You just put it on rotation, and it put it right below where your feet are. One good thing about this pole, though, is if you're standing behind there, you can almost any weapon will do it, will knock them off. And sometimes their pathing will be such that they will actually fall like that and have to come back around to the way they started. That is a really good one. Now, for the top of your fighting position, I can go here into shapes. I will choose, let me take this off. Trying to remember the name of it now. The beveled corner, cube beveled corner, cube corner beveled. You simply take that block, you do advanced rotation again, put it here like this in your fighting position, and then you go back here to wedge tip 60. You can go to here, which is right here once you type wedge, and you can put this up top. And I'm going to do that real quick. Hold on. You always want to do 2 blocks out for your fighting position. What this allows, and this is really important, zombies try to stack. They will actually hit this and they'll get knocked backwards and they'll be falling off that post. So they won't stack. You always want to have something like that. Now when they're here, they can get caught. They won't be stacking. They'll be knocking each other off on the pole. And so this pole is very important for this key of importance to the build that I always do. You don't have to do that pole, but I find it extremely useful. They still use the path, and it's really skinny, which gives them more chance to fall. And once they fall off, that's very, very important. And you always want to make sure your blocks are 15 high from this ground, not if you want to dig a pit below your base. You always make sure that these blocks are 15 high. The importance of it is, one, they will not go into rage mode whenever they fall that distance. Two, they're less likely to hear you up that high. So if a screamer's down below, you can still hear the moaning. You can still see zombies roaming around below you, but they more likely won't try to attack you. Now the screamers, they will make racket. They won't scream until they see you. So you can let them walk around under there all you want, and more likely they won't know you're there because you're 15 high. So you build your floor 15 up. And I'll show you an example. Just copy this shape. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And then you say like I'm standing way up here. That's a good distance. So you're up here in your fighting position. You can also make this your house. You can put your workbenches up here, and zombies won't bother you, or have a high chance not to bother you. So you want to build like that high. See how far up it is? That's pretty high. You always want to give yourself an entrance to your base. You don't not have to parkour to do this either. Anybody can do this. You want to put your ladder. Let me paint this real quick. Paint surface. Now I have the dev brush, so it's not gonna. There we go. It's not gonna take paint. But you always want to build two. You always want to put your ladder 2 blocks up. Zombies can't jump this. They can't. And you want to make sure when you build your base that you put the plates on the wall, which I'm going to show you real quick, which is here in the basics. Put it on face, which is this one right here, 2 plates with roll symbols on it. And you can do that. Zombies won't get to you. If you have parkour, you can put the ladder up higher. That works just fine. But for those just starting a game and you don't have parkour because you don't have the skill points in it, you can simply do this and then jump up, save your resources for a second ladder right there, and there you go. Now, say you're running from your life from a zombie and you're in a POI, you always want to give yourself an escape route. In order to do this, I'll use the back side of this one, and I will paint this, and I'll show you this. Before you start a POI, you always want to give yourself a way to get up away from the zombies, and this is the perfect way to do it. So you always want a place to reprieve and get yourself back in order. I'm going to go into plates, do on face. You always want at least one ladder. You probably won't have time to this, so I'll go ahead and remove this. So you always want to place one ladder on a wall, at least 3 up, so you get zombies can't get to you. When you're running for your life, you're up here on the ladder. You plaster this on the wall before you do the POI. You're up here on this. You can use medical bandages, honey, whatever you need to use to heal yourself. Now, this won't stop cops from spitting or the new frost claws from throwing things at you, but it will give you enough time for the other zombies to heal yourself. You can jump down and back into the fray. And that will suffice to keep you alive a little bit longer. If you get like a whole bunch of zombies on higher difficulties and nightmare speed, or even if you're playing on venture, which is the basic setting, you get a whole bunch of them from a infested area, for example, and there's like 10 coming at you, and you're hurt bad. Just jump up there, heal yourself, and then and you can even attack from that position too. You can swat them in the head and kill them or shoot them. Preferably, if you have a gun, shoot them because you have to get kind of far, get a little bit down, and they can hit you if you use melee weapon. But always make sure you got one on the wall. Just do a regular building shape. You don't have to use concrete shapes like this, but you want at least one building block. You don't have to upgrade it. Once you put it down, with if you do a building block, you can simply pick it back up when you're done with the POI. Um, Another thing too, doing this will also give you a chance to get up if, from swarms of them. You don't have to sit there in the ground and take on 10, 15 zombies. If you don't think you can handle, there's no shame in running because that will keep you alive. And if you have to get on the wall on a ladder, that's not a shame. That's survival. That's any survival instinct. Now, one other thing with this, and probably the last one, is running from zombies. There's no shame in it. If you're in trouble and you can't get up on your ladder, just run a little distance from them, let them follow you, and then go back around, run towards the ladder again, and then jump up here. Give yourself a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of space. Make sure you have stamina. If you have enough running space, you can get away from them. Now, here's another tip and trick. This is the last one for building. Say, put a door here. I'm going to go back into creative mode. I'm going to do a door. Don't matter which one. It's going to be one of the ones you can create. I'll just grab this wooden door. Put these back up. There we go. Okay, this tip and trick is really handy. If you come across some zombies, you want to keep spike traps too, as a minimum of like 5. The ladders you want to keep the shapes a minimum of 10, so you can get up in several spots. Now this one is very handy. If I come in here and I'm running from zombies and there's a door here, even closing this door for a few seconds while they beat on it, if they can take it down fast, is just to close the door, and that few seconds will save your life because you can simply put down a spike trap and open the door again. That way they'll run into the spike trap, you can kill them. This is not going to be the average size of a room, but that little extra time will save your life. These spike traps will slow them down, and think they're 10 wood to make. Let me see. So they're fairly cheap. It's going to be the wood spikes. No, it takes 20. They changed it. 20. So it takes 20 wood to make them. And 20 wood is pretty good considering that it'll save your life. But you want to keep a minimum of 5. Sometimes you may need more, depending. And you can also put those spike traps out in the open and just simply jump over them to get away from zombies like this. So I'll put some traps here. That one was an accident. Let me go ahead and get rid of it. You're running from zombies, jump over it, let them step into them, and while you're beating on them or shooting them. Now that's it for that. Now I'm going to go into perks and show you this. So if I go into perks and you're like early stage, you want a better weapon than what you can normally get. And one good one is, I think it's under here, the gear symbol. Yes, Lucky Looter. excuse me, this Lucky Looter can be a game changer, even in the Pine Forest. It increases your loot bonus, and as a uh, and they also uh, allows you to loot faster. So if you're running in a building, you got zombies, and you wanted to snag the loot and run, this will allow you to open it faster. Just snag it and run. But it adds the loot bonus, which is very, very important because you could find higher level weapons and gear than you normally would if you didn't have this. So this is very, very handy. This is one of my favorites. I love this perk. And once you get it maxed, you get a 25% loot bonus, 80% looting is 80% faster. Now, it takes 1 point for rank 1, and I think, yeah, 2 points for rank 2. For the early stages, I would just suggest 1 point. And, and then you want to put your points into your weapons. Now, with weapons, every single tree has a melee weapon. This is for stun batons. This is for knives and machetes. And then here you got the fist weapons. And then on the strength tree, you have Skull Crusher, which is used for sledgehammers, Pummel Pete, which is used for clubs. And then on perception, you have your spears. Now, these are very important. When you invest in your weapons, it'll give you not only better chances to find them, but it also reduces stamina cost and make them do more damage. And it allows you to find more books. So if I, like for example, if I invest in spears, it says right here it boosts loot odds of Sharp Sticks magazines. So it's not guaranteeing that you'll get one every single time, but it will increase your chance of getting one. So you want to make sure to get early stages, at least get a melee weapon boosted. Now for later stages, when you get more points and everything, the zombies start getting tougher. You want to invest in ranged weapons. This will increase your uh, loot odds of rifle world magazines. So once you start investing this, same thing as the other one. This one here in particular allow you to do more damage and reload faster. Once you get to higher tiers, it allows you to do more stuff. Like right here at the max range, you start getting kill streaks, which increases the damage for sniper rifles. Now, other ones, you just have to read the tooltips, but this is that one. Now, Penetrator I find is important too. This is for when you start getting armored zombies, or you'll get big groups of zombies and you want to kill a whole bunch. You don't want to do this in early stages because it's not very useful. Now, when you do invest in it, it allows you to do more armor piercing and pierce several more zombies. Now, over here in the strength tree, this is very important. Pack Mule. Now, in previous versions, this was not a good perk. But as of 2.0, it also gives you a chance to ignore physical damage completely when hit. This one gives you 5% at rank 1, and it can go up to 50%. I mean, excuse me, 25% chance to ignore physical damage. So that's like a 1 in 4 chance of not receiving any damage. Doesn't mean that's going to always be 1 out of 4, but it's 1 out of 4 chance uh, each time they swing at you. Now, it also increases your backpack space, and when this is maxed, it unlocks all your backpack slots. It unlocks all these right here, so you won't be overburdened no more. Now, another good one too is each one of these trees here in Perception has Quick and Perceptive, and Big and Fast. This one has where is it? Lightning Hands right here. Then you got Whirlwind. And then here you have Calculated Attack. What these do, and I usually wait until I get a good amount of skill points spent into weapons. What these allow you to do is attack faster, up to 25% faster. Start off at 5%, up to 25. These are helpful once you start getting more zombies as well. I usually don't invest in them until I start getting groups or tougher zombies. I usually invest points in other things first and foremost. Um, that's how I do those because there's other things priority that you want to do before you get this. Because I mean, attack speed's nice, but it's not of importance until you start getting tougher zombies or huge groups of zombies, like 10 zombies at a time. That'll help you a lot. Now, this one is pretty important. Advanced Engineering, they have changed as 2.0. When you invest in it, it gives you a whole smorgasbord of books you can get: Electrical Traps, Forge Ahead, Handyland, and Wiring 101. Not a very good perk at the early stages. What you want to go to is here in the gear symbol. You want to go to lock picking and put at least 1 point into it. Reason being, if I go here, excuse me, and I go to workbench, and I go to here, it says I need workstation books. That if I go here, can't remember where it's at. Hold on. To get more Forge Ahead books, the easiest way to do it is to invest at least 1 point into this. Now, once you reach level 10, that will no longer. Once you reach level 15, level 15, you will no longer get bonus books for workstations. But this is what I've learned, and this is very, very important. If you want to keep getting bonus to workstations, invest 1 point into this and leave it alone. It'll boost your odds of getting workstation books. And once you reach level 10, because the workbench goes, hold on, let me show you. The workbench takes 10 books. So once you get to 10, stop. And you will continue with that 1 point into lock picking. You'll continue to get books and bonus chances to get books. That bonus book chance will stop at 15, but if you save, once you get to 10, if you start saving them, you'll continue to get that bonus. And once you get all the books you need, then just go crazy read them, because you get books a lot quicker doing this for workstations. It's extremely important. So at least 1 point into this. Armor perks, they're nice. Now, until you start finding armor and you decide what set you want and everything, you want to, once you do all that, you want to invest in this, because this heavy armor will reduce the stamina penalty and reduce the durability loss. With heavy armor, you always have movement and stamina penalty, and nobody wants to fight really slow down and the zombies being faster than you. So it's pretty important. Now, as of 2.0, they have one for light armor, which reduces durability use, which is their fancy way of saying reduces the amount of damage the armor takes at a time. And then also with this one, you gain 4 armor rating for each piece of light armor equipped with max level. Master Chef is an important one too. With this, you will actually use less of the main ingredients, and it'll allow you to cook faster. And you will also find cooking magazines and ingredients and loot. Now, faster is always important, because if your character's really hungry or really thirsty and you want to get something to drink fast because you ain't had time to make it yet, get this. That 40% is more important than what you can ever think. Using less resources is always a plus too. So that's a good one too. Now, in each one of these, you have your mastery. Like this is the intellect, and each one of these trees has a mastery. With the strength, I usually try to let's see, which one is it? This is a good one, brass miner. If you need to make ammo and you need brass, it adds a 5% chance to gain scrap brass when harvesting ore blocks. Now that chance may not sound like much, but when you're sitting there harvesting a bunch of like iron or lead, uh, it actually gives you a whole bunch. I've done work this, it works pretty good. Now this battle miner and miner's mending is not that great, except miner's mending is good if you're in a safe position and you're holding mining, you just pull out your mining tool and your critical injuries will heal 100% faster. Doesn't mean you have to use it, it just helps. Now, these are also pretty good too, these last two, but it takes a lot to get to them. With the miners one, you have to get strength level 6, which means that these are later stage ones. Now, if you go stun batons, the intellect mastery, uh, it's really nice. Uh, you get bookworm, which has 25% chance to find a book, magazine, or schematic in loot. But this, of course, this is later because this is intellect level 7. All these start at 6. But the really important one is baton master. It keeps your stun charge there at all times. Now, this is a critical one, and it's always stayed this way for me throughout all alphas and 2.0, 1.4, all that. You want to get intellect level 3 in 1.2 position. This will allow you to cure sprains instantly with a splint or cast. So if you got a sprain and you're running from zombies, you're just going to injure yourself worse and give you a chance to get a broken leg. This will cure that sprain pretty easy. And that's always a plus. Now, as far as crafting skills, oh, this is where it was. So I go to workstations. This tells you advanced engineering and lockpicking. Lockpicking boosts up craft level 15. That's important. So once you reach level 10, see it says workbench is level 10. You can stop there. Now, cement mixers are nice and everything, but these usually aren't that important until later. So if you get to 10, start saving your books, get like 65 more books. With your lockpicking skill, you have a higher chance to get them. Then you get up to 65 books. Uh, if you're not using the nerd outfit, then you can fully max this out right away. Now, there is a nerd outfit. Let me show you this. The nerd outfit is really nice. It gives you a chance to read an extra skill point when reading a magazine. So sometimes when it makes that chime when you're reading books, that means you got an extra point into that crafting books set. Now, the nerd helmet is nice if you want to level fast. I would not recommend this, even though some people like the XP game. The reason is, if I go into here, the game stage, go up with your level. So if you're still in the Pine Forest, for example, and you get maxed out, uh, no matter how high you are in the game, your level goes up, so does your game stage. So you could be here, get your game stage really high, and then move on to the Burnt Forest, which is the next in the biome progression. Once you get to the Burnt Forest, if you're high level, your game stage is going to be high level, and the zombies will be harder to beat. So I always like to level normally. I don't like to even out level an area before it's ready. Uh, so you don't want to go into a next biome and have a hard time beating them. Some people like it. Don't get me wrong. That's just my personal preference. Um, Another good one I just now thought of. Let me. Uh, oh yeah, living off the land. That's here in the gear symbol. They moved that. This is pretty good too. Even one rank, double the harvest of wild or planted crops, and it also allows farm plots to craft less to craft. Saving resources is always a big plus. And if you're needing red tea, chrysanthemum right here is a really good thing to get. If you invest 1 point in living off the land, you can get two. I mean, you could double the harvest. It's not going to be just two. It can be more. See if I hit it. Hold on. Uh, take this off my bar. Oh, it's not letting me hit it for some reason. Okay, set to invisible. Okay, there's my hands. So I hit this. I'm getting one each. Now, 1 to 2. That's how you normally get is 1 to 2. Uh, so it's good, but you're gonna have to sit there and harvest a whole bunch, going all over the place. If you invest 1 point living in the land, one small little area with the flowers that you need or any plants will save you time and energy. I'll show you this too as an example. If now they won't always buy a whole entire stack all the time, but if you pick enough, it sells for good money. It's like this full stack of 500 sells for 1,200 money. So that's a plus. So it pays for itself to get living off the land. It won't take long to get that much, and you can turn around and sell it and get stuff from the trader really easy. And the other one that I've learned over the years is in skills too, still too. Uh, where which one was it? Is the Grand Slam. It's actually as of 2.0. Sorry, it's really important too, but I would worry about this later when you're more tanky because you have to sprint power attacks with clubs, bats, or sledgehammers, and then you get a chance to ragdoll them. Now, if you're more tanky, this is good, but if you're not so tanky, it's not a very good thing because who wants to be face to face with a zombie that's going to chew you up and you're not ready for it? Um, so that's important. Each one has something like that. Let's see this. Each one has a perk like the speed attack, but not everyone has it as this. Now, as of 2.0, these are pretty nice too. If you're needing a whole bunch of polymers and you're needing cloth or anything like that, and you see the little cloth piles on the ground, let me see if I could spawn one. Hang on a minute. Take this back off. I'm uh, well, I can't figure out where it's at, but those little piles on the ground looks like little pieces of plastic, bottles and stuff, or looks like cloth. If you get this junk miner, it actually boosts the amount you get. So this is a fairly decent one too, but I prefer Lucky Looter over this. I mean, you'll get more resources, but it's it's a good perk nonetheless if you're looking for polymers and whatnot. Now, Miner 69er, that is a good one uh, to do more damage to blocks. This is pretty good if you're doing a lot of mining. It reduces your stamina usage and allows you to do more damage to blocks and stuff like that. Um, Mother Load will increase your amount of resources you get. Now, early stages, well, we first start mining, I recommend doing this at least to Muckman, and then work on some of the mother load. That way you can destroy blocks faster first and get your resources. You won't get as much, but you could take down trees, you could take out veins and stuff like that. And then once you've faced in this, it'll give you more resources with power attacks. Now, a lot of these are important, but when I first start a game, I always do at least 1 point into Lucky Looter, which is here at the gear symbol. It used to be right there in Perception, that's why I was there. But I always like to put at least 1 point into this, and then I choose my weapon, put 1 point into my weapon. Say if I wanted sledgehammers, invest 1 point into it, and then go over here to lock picking, invest 1 point into that, and then Master Chef. Those are where I spend my first 4 points after you do the intro quest. That's my preference, because if you're by yourself, Master Chef's important. You'll get more resources. I mean, it costs less resources, you'll cook better, stuff like that. Now, rank 2 is really nice. It takes 3 points as well. You will find have a chance to find salvageable food in dumpsters, which dumpsters are pretty common. So if you're needing food, this is important too. But if you don't, I wouldn't do it right away because it takes 3 points and that only leaves you 1 point for something else. But Lucky Looter, lockpicking, Master Chef, and then your weapon. That's how I always spend mine. Now, as far as building horde bases, let me get back onto these. So I'll go ahead and just do this as an example. I'll take this up here. Say I got my ladder and stuff, but I'll just queue it and fly up here. This here is pretty important to me. So you want to, let me get this shape right here. My favorite shape, copy shape and rotation. Hold on, go down a little bit. There we go. Now I already stated about the pathing, but if you want to, for example, make zombies run around a lot while you shoot them, then you can simply do something like this. Connect this block here. These are a little bit tricky because they're such a small little point like that. And then I'll go ahead and copy this. And then do another cube. This is pretty important too. I'm gonna go ahead and put these blocks here. You always want to make sure your pathing always has plenty of room. I'm gonna get rid of this boulder here. You always want to support it like that, because after so many blocks, this one in particular has support of 120, but only mass of 10. So it can only handle so much weight. These blocks weigh 10, so you can only do 12 blocks out. That's what that means. So I'm going to copy this shape, go back over here. You always want at least 2 blocks separated from this so they don't jump across. Let me copy this one. Copy shape and rotation. They can try to jump it, but they will fall. And I'm just going to keep on building this real quick. There we go. And you're in fighting position, for example, right here. While they pass across here and then go across there and then go across there and then come across to you, while they're doing all that, you got a chance to shoot them and knock them off. It's really good for uh, idea to if you have guns and you have bullets and you want to use them and you want to get rid of zombies before they get to you. You always want to give them a path up. Now this can be a problem. Hold on, let me go back down here. I'll show you. So you build your steps like this. I always like doing this. This has always been my favorite thing. Let me put it on advanced. You do like that with steps, and then you can put it like that. Now, once you got your steps like this, that only leaves one pathway and one structural line. You always want to do at least 2 or 3 wide. So you want to do like this, at least 2 or 3. That way you'll have 3 rows and it's less likely to get knocked down. Now this is also pretty cool. Let me show you this. This actually counts as a whole entire block underneath it, and it can look aesthetically pleasing. You just place blocks like this. Like shapes. I usually have several shapes set aside, but you can do this, and that supports it. So this makes it even stronger. I can go here into debug mode and show stability. See, that is green, even though it's up like that. It turns it green. If I was to shoot this, for example, it turns it yellow. So that helps give it stability. It, believe it or not, it counts as a whole entire block there. That is pretty useful when you're building your steps, because they won't be beating on that as much as they will. Sometimes they get on the steps and they'll start beating on the steps, they get frustrated. But if you have it up that high, more likely they're not going to go and destroy everything mode. They're not going to hit this stuff. But when they're running to it, sometimes they get stuck and they will beat on that. They're less likely to beat on that if you have that there. It'll be more support. Now this is also pretty important. They can get, like if I was to run over here the side of the stairs, I'm stuck. I can't get up there. This is a pretty important because, let me put back on simple. So how I just got stuck. This will prevent that. See, I can go here and still go up. Zombies will less likely to be on the steps if they don't get stuck on it. So they will have a path like this. They'll go up to the fighting position and they'll be able to get around. Always, when you build your stairs, always put these pieces here. These, I'll show you. These here are the stairs filled corner. I always do the field stairs because they just there's less chance to get caught on. You can do ramps if you want, but I find it easier for them to get up to you by doing stairs, because the ramps they can actually slide on if they're too steep. But these are my tips and tricks. These are the things that I found over the years, over the 7 years I've played this, that will really help you survive. But yeah, never build on the ground, because they can not only go for the front, but they can also go around for the back or sides. If you have your fighting position up there, they only have one path to get to you. Only once. You're controlling the situation. You always want to fight in your terms, like I said. You don't want them let them control you. You want to control them. And that's a really good idea to do, is to build something that high, fighting position, and to have your fighting position up there like that. This was just an example of, you know, the cops and everything else. But like I said, you always want to double up on your fighting position bars. Um, that's the way to do it. But have safe trips is if you're on that little pole right there to your fighting position, just go out there, then you have a chance to fall, and you won't be able to get back in. So if I go here, I'm going to go ahead and knock these out. Show you this. There we go. Go to here, scaffolding ladder. I'm just going to do it this way. So if you're in here and you want to play, you don't want to walk on that bar because it's too risky. You might slide and break your legs. Once you have these two side pieces on here, I always simply just put it like this, and then do this again on the once you're inside. So now they have a hard time getting to you. You can kill them, but never put your top scaffolding ladder like this because you won't be able to get headshots. You'll have to sit them and hit them in the chest, which takes longer to kill. But structural stability is key and very important with any horde base that you built. Because if they can knock down one block, see if this does it. See, that whole thing just collapsed. And that's because I didn't have enough supports for it. So you always want to make sure you have enough supports. What I like to do is, if I do something like that, is to build, like that one was over here, build a support beam here. Because that's where the pole was going that way. But you always want to have backup support. Because if you don't, then your structure's gone and it'll be all a waste of materials. Zombies will kill you and chew your head off. They love brains. But these are the things that I've learned over the years, and I hope it helps everybody survive. And my hope is that it'll help veteran players as well as beginners know how to survive better. Anyways, my name is Ken. I'm one half of Family Gaming Time. I hope these help, and y'all have a blessed day.